we'd like to welcome Chance and uh, Vanessa. Appreciate you guys making the time to come out here today. We all have come from different walk of life, and what we hope to get out today to kind of have our audience kind of see and understand your story and how it all come about. Tell us a little bit about your family, and then we'll go from there.
All right, sounds good. Well, first of all, thanks for having us. We're excited to be here. This is all new for us. So, she said, I'm Chance, and this is my wife Vanessa, and this is our youngest, Blake. We've been married 9 years.
9 years.
Is that correct?
9
Okay.
years, almost 10.
I'm originally from the Valley, from Gilbert. Vanessa grew up here in Snowflake or Taylor. I'm the owner of Heritage Custom Builders. Been building my whole life. I grew up doing it. My dad was a builder. As I was talking to Scott earlier, I got my general contractor's license when I was 21, and then, of course, a couple years after that, that's when market went to crap, and decided to go back to school and became an RN and had plans to go on with that. And construction's where I enjoy being in construction. I enjoy doing what I do. I love being my own boss. I love the customers, dealing with, homeowners most of the time. No, it's good. I feel like we've grown to be a pretty reputable business and providing really good homes for people. And I think last year we did 17 homes up here, which for up here feels like a pretty fair amount, especially for customs,
Absolutely. How was growing up in Snowflake, Taylor?
I enjoyed it. I mean, I didn't know anything else really, but I liked it. So it was good. It's a good place to raise your kids, so I like it. But yeah, like I said, born and raised here, got married here. That's about it.
Well, I hate to tell you, but it's hard to get these mountain girls off the mountain.
Yeah.
Sully knows about that.
No.
Yeah, I got a lot of families too. All the women.
We've talked in the past about, maybe going somewhere else, and when it comes right down to it, it's kind of hard to do, when you built a successful business and you started becoming kind of part of the community and that sort of thing. It's tough to leave, and when you really start thinking about going other places, where are you going to go,
Yeah, and it's going good now. So
and it's good. Yeah.
Don't ruin it.
So we enjoy it here.
Good.
The people here are really good. Yeah. A lot of people have treated us really well. So we're here to stay.
Very cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Something about this mountain that, like I just had a conversation last night with my daughter had a little, and Scott's daughter, they're cheerleaders, with your family now. But talk about the mountain, and I said to him, like, this mountain, you have to come and stay here for a year, minimum, that you can fully understand why it's so different than everybody else. You know what they're saying, that the grass is not always green on the other side. Of course you can go start another construction company outside of the mountain, but the uniqueness of the people, the town itself, and that's what I always say, a town without people, it's just a piece of land.
Yeah.
It's just like, you say you build your home, and it's the same thing, home without a family is just a house.
It's just a house.
Yeah.
Yep.
So wherever we go, we make it our thing,
Right. And you have to choose. You have to choose that.
Yeah.
And you have to accept. You have to build on that. And for us, especially with the business and everything, we've gotten like our subs and our suppliers and the community. Like, we've become. It's not just a business. Everybody that we work with, it's kind of it's a family, really. We've gotten so close to all my subs. I know them very well. I know families, my suppliers. You know, I mean, we're friends outside of just the business part of it, and so that's just hard to beat. And I think that's why we've kind of built what we've built is we've turned it into more than just transactional and turned it into something bigger than that, if that makes sense. So
Absolutely. That's one of the things that we take pride in with our business is that heavy focus on relationship.
right,
And when it comes down to it, I think that's what this is all about.
it really is. You know, I think anybody can do that transaction side of things, but until you start building relationships and truly building those relationships, I think that's when you can look back and say you're successful. You know, in my opinion. So
When did you feel like that was you kind of got that? When did that click for you?
it took a while. In the beginning, it was a lot about just making the money and getting the job done and going to the next. But I think really when things changed for me was probably a couple years ago. The relationship side of it is what when we started building that relationship with everybody, things just changed for us. We started, you know, I think when did we start using you guys as like the social media stuff? About 2 years? Has it been that long? Huh? About 2 years, right?
Yeah, pretty close.
Pretty close to that. The comments people were making and things like that, realizing that what we did was important. And but yeah, I think it was a couple years ago that I really realized it was more about the relationships than just the job. All my subs know each other. My supplier, you know, he was with another supply house and he ended up going to another one. I followed him. I've been using him for 5 years now. I don't change. And I think it's been really good to just keep that continuity and consistency. And I know where I'm at. They know where I'm at. I know what they expect. They know what I expect. And it works really well. I mean, don't get me wrong. Things happen,
Sure.
but overall it's been really good.
Our company we were in the same boat, and until we start realizing that it takes everybody. You know, we look at our community, and that's one of the unique things about the mountain. It takes everyone.
Yeah.
And you know, you talk about transactional. Of course, at the end of the day, when you treat people with the way how you want to be treated, and they understand that we're all just trying to go in the direction they make our life better.
Right.
And when you find alignment, everyone win at the end of the day.
Right.
And that's your intention.
Right.
And that's what people start draw into that, things like that, because you're starting to see that.
Right.
And for us, like a lot of people that come through this mountain, they come and go, and people will feel and know that your intention in the right place, and your hope for your subs and the customers. You just want to give a good service that's what they remember at the end of the day, you know?
Right.
We often say in our office that, you know, people might never remember what you did, but they always remember how they felt.
1,000%. 1,000%. And that's the whole goal is at the end of a project for us, I want for our customers to be able to sit down and say Heritage or Chance or whatever made us feel good and went out of his way to give us his best. You know, of course, we're all here to make a living. We're all here to, you know, be successful in that side of things. But I think it just goes so much further, and it's down to that relationship and how you make make people feel. And there's no better feeling than, you can drive around and say, oh, look at that house I built, or whatever, and oh, that looks really nice. But having a client say the things about you that that you did them a good job, that you treated them right, that they would recommend, that we became friends, things like that. That's so much more important than the actual job. And that's what makes you feel successful, in my opinion, for sure.
And even some, like what he was saying, your circle growing. We have homeowners just recently who he just finished a house for. And at the end of jobs, I'm kind of like the little runner, and I'll go help with the little things at the end. But every time I go over there, they're just like, Chance is so great. And they've already they're going to do like a pickleball court, a little basketball court. They have grandkids, and they're like, your kids are welcome whenever. It's just like so cool to have those people feel so just like he's building their house, but to them, he's the greatest guy. And I don't know, it's cool for our kids because they're like, your kids are welcome over, and they're making friends. And so I definitely feel like it's
it becomes
your
a
circle
family.
your circle does grow and
Yep.
grow and grow, and it's really
Yep.
cool. But it's awesome.
What are some of the different or the changing trends in the construction market that are going on right now?
That's a good question. It's constantly changing, but overall, I feel like construction's just there's not a lot of overall big changes. Your finishes and things like that, those are always, of course, changing. But I feel like social media and internet and things like that, I think that's the biggest thing that has caused any type of change, as far as, your clients are much more educated, or
Think they are.
yeah, and most of the time they are. So they become much more involved, and so you have to I think you have to kind of accept that aspect of things. I think that's one thing that we've really tried to do lately, is involve our clients in the whole process and be as much involved as possible, so that they feel like they are not necessarily I'm building their home, but we're building their home together, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
And I think a lot of our clients have really enjoyed that. We try to give them as much option and choice and involvement as possible. But yeah, I think the social media and the knowledge that is available to homeowners just by looking stuff up or watching and seeing things, I think that's the biggest change, or not necessarily a trend or anything like that, but I think that's the biggest change in construction for us anyway, is, when first time I meet with a customer, it's, whether they have a plan or not, because we're able to draw plans and everything. We can do from the very beginning, just take a concept and create the whole thing for them. But, the very beginning is, what are your ideas? What is it that you're looking for? What type of finishes? What, start showing me pictures, start showing me things that you want, so that I can tell you from the very beginning, that's not, or yes, we can do that, or it's not within your budget, or that's going to be a, increase or whatever. And I feel like our customers have been really appreciative of that, because initially, like, oh my gosh, we had no idea, and we'll actually show them costs of things so that they can see, here's your differences. And so I think that communication part of it, and keeping them just as close to you in the whole process, has been really key for us, But yeah.
I think that goes to speak to what you're just talking about with relationship. I mean, that's where it starts.
Yeah.
With these customers, is helping them understand and being transparent with
Right.
them.
Well, and it's so important too, with that whole relationship part of it, like my whole philosophy is the communication thing. You call me, text me, day, night, weekend, whatever. There's no question that's a crazy question. You can ask me the same dang question 40 times. I just want us to be on the same understanding. You know, as you build a house, you've been in the flooring, and I'm sure it's the same in all of this. You know, if you communicate, that's going to solve 99.9% of issues. Building a house, you're going to run into stuff all the time. Things do not ever go to plan.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Not
man.
one time. Not one time is it going to go just to plan. And with that communication, if you're communicating with your homeowners and they're communicating with you, it solves so many issues, and it makes it so much easier to adjust and roll with whatever's going on, you know.
So that's one of the things I love about a custom home builder versus a contractor that's just building spec homes. You actually care. You actually work with the customers. I've talked to a lot of contractors that they don't even want to touch anything custom because they don't want to have those conversations.
Right. And I'm not gonna lie, is it hard? Sometimes it can be really hard. It can be really hard, and you have to have both sides have to have a lot of understanding, and it's tough. And there's days you're like, oh, I just need to build a spec, and I'll pick everything, and when it's ready to sell it, and that's it, you know. But on the other side of it, I love it. I love talking to my homeowners. You can ask her, I'll be like, hey, I'm going to go check this job, or I'm going to go meet. And she'll call me 2 hours later. Where are you at? Oh, I'm still talking to him, you know, and we're not even talking about the build anymore. We're talking about their life history, where they've been, things I've done. You know, I have a homeowner that me and my boy this last week just went out on a hunt in Texas, and when it was all done, I sent him all the pictures of it, and he's been talking to me about that kind of stuff. You know, we both know each other's families, and I love that part of it. And I think we're on the spec side of things. I think that's more that transactional, just side of things. And
People, what creates everything, you know.
Yeah.
If you look at the end of the day, we can all agree that me and you are in the service business.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate that level of commitment to customers and service is starting to, you know, fade, you know.
Yeah.
And I think that's the lack of people understanding, you know. People don't just wake up in the morning and just call chance just to, you know, they call because they know you have a solution and they have a problem. And our job at the end of the day to understand where people are coming from. And it's the same thing with our level of where we at. People don't wake up in the morning, oh, I'm going to go over there to KNS-Tech and hang out over there.
Yeah.
No, they come in here because something's happening in your life that they see you there's a possibility you might be able to help them ease. Because, you know, building a home is not the cheapest thing in the world.
Right.
And a lot of people in their life, you
That's-
know, that's their whole,
That's the biggest thing they will ever do,
You know?
is build a home. And they're putting a lot of trust into that person that they choose to build their home.
I'm thinking maybe people just love you, man. They just want to do anything for you, man. Like that's good. That's a good problem to have. That, you know, look like you, and it all come back to relationship. You know.
Yeah.
I think you've done well creating those relationships, and people, you know.
And it always hasn't been that way. You know, even like that scheduling and planning ahead, like there's been a lot of trial and error in that. You know, there's been times that in the beginning, especially, crap, I did not plan that ahead, and that put a big damper on things. So, just like any business, anything, there's a lot of trial and error and trying to create, if you want to call it systems or whatever. I'm not a big systems person. I'm not good at paperwork. I'm not good at any of that kind of stuff. But once you kind of create that some type of system, it streamlines things a lot. So, yeah.
So I know it's gonna maybe this question might take us a long to answer, but if you can sum up a typical day for you, like from let's say once you say come to an agreement with the homeowners to build a home.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I know on a day to day, but what does a typical day in Jan's world, man?
There's no day the same. That's a tough question to answer because there is no day the same. There could be one day that I have a plan to do A, B, C, D, and I wake up and get started, and I never touch A, B, C, D, E, and it's a whole nother. It depends on what call I get, what issue may arise. It could just completely change. There's days that I'm busy from the second I wake up to I'll have text messages till 9 o'clock at night. There's other days that it's checking on everything, making sure everything is going good, talking to a homeowner or sub or whatever, making sure everybody has what they need. And it's a super chill day.
On my plate, customer always come first.
Yeah.
I always say to my team every day, take care of the customer. I'm not the one writing the check to you every 2 weeks. The customer is the one that write you the check.
Right.
And became to us a customer oriented and family owned company.
Right.
You look at technology. Do you feel like technology has changed as far as
the construction, the building process? No, building will never. When it comes to building a house, I don't feel technologically there's really not much that can change that. In my opinion, you still have to have, it's people that build it, and
I like that because I'm so sick and tired of hearing this. AI will change everything. I'm sorry, but AI can't build your house.
No, it can't. And no, building a home is it's all hands on, people driven. That's my opinion.
So, with the upcoming generations,
Yes.
you got young kids. Technology is changing things
Yes.
in the world as a whole. I'm sure you've seen quality of work, attitudes of employees and subcontractors. At times, can you speak a little on that of what you're seeing? And
Absolutely. The workforce, people coming in, it's so hard to find the younger generation that want to come into this side of things. I know a lot of my subs, they struggle finding those employees. I mean, any young man that I talk to, my kids, whatever, if you can learn a trade, you'll be set. Like, it's my opinion. Going to school and becoming, a doctor or a lawyer, great, cool. But in my opinion, and I hope I don't misspeak here, but going in school and just getting a degree in whatever, man, if you can go get hands-on experience and learn a trade, the world is, in my opinion, you're always going to have success. If you do a good job, if you learn it and you do a good job, and you treat people the right way, the world is yours.
From your perspective, as a busy mother trying to keep up with a busy husband, what has been like, helping your husband with the business and trying to be home as a mom, running kids' sports, and how have you adapted to the life,
Well, At the beginning, when he first started, it was a little rough because he was a lot busier just because he was his own. He was doing all the hands-on. He didn't have all the subs, and so we just tagged along, me and the kids, and we were always helping. But now, I mean, it's like you said, he does get to be at everything. So being at home is something I enjoy. I love being a stay-at-home mom. It's my favorite thing. So I'm glad that we worked through like the hard times together to get him to where he is now, and he's busted his booty to get where he is. But yeah, I mean, I love it. I'm never, when he's, off with a homeowner or he has to go check his jobs, I'm just like, okay, sounds good. Like, you do your job, I'm doing mine. We work together. He's home playing with the kids. I'm able to, do things like I need to do, whatever I need to get done. And so I love it. It's great.
I'll tell you this: I'd never do her job.
Oh, so me.
I could never. I
Every
could never
time-
be that stay-at-home dad.
Every time
Never.
my wife leave town, our home's a mess, and we,
Yeah.
my kids to this day, still always remind me of making pancake with honey because we ran out of syrup,
Oh.
and then I put cinnamon and sugar on their mac and cheese because I thought it was pepper. So, and I think in our world. For me, I could have done it. I won't be where I'm at in my life if I didn't have my wife stand behind me. It's not always smooth, but I think that's what it takes. Understanding each other's role.
Having that support and everybody having their roles, and it takes a lot of commitment. It takes a lot of sacrifice. It takes a lot of understanding and trust, and in all aspects. And I think I'm happy with how life has progressed. So
That's awesome. What do you have any advice for homeowners?
stay off Pinterest. No. For homeowners, really do your homework. Meet with your contractors. Ask a lot of questions in the beginning. Get as much detail as you can. And the biggest thing is go with who you feel is best for your goal.
And
Don't be afraid to screw up.
yes,
Don't be afraid to screw up. You're going to screw up.
That's what I just got done talking to our 8-year-old son the other day. I can't remember what he was doing, but telling me something he's like, well, I just have so much fear. And I'm like, here's the thing. Everybody is scared. Everybody's scared to start something. Everybody's scared to, work, just be different, to be better at something or whatever it is. Like, everybody is scared, but the people who are successful are the ones who are scared, but they just do it anyways. Everything is hard. Nothing comes easy for anybody if you want to be successful in life, and you just have to get past that. But it's hard for everybody and it's scary for everybody. You just got to do it, and when you do it, then you see the progress, and then you gain that confidence, and you're just able to just keep going and going and going. So
you in your household, do you guys like food? Not really.
Do we like food?
Not really.
Do we like food? I wish I didn't like
How
it as
can
much
you
as I do
tell?
like it.
You don't.
I see your guys' videos all the time, and
I
I'm like,
know.
geez, man, I wish I was over there.
why are we not being invited to this?
Difference is I eat, and it goes here, and this guy eats a ton, and it just, he looks like a...
That's awesome. And we just want to say, to the audience that Heritage Custom Builders are part of the KNS family.
Well, we're glad to be a part of it, and we're so grateful for everything you guys do for us.
Yeah.
It's been awesome. Anybody that's wanting to possibly build, reach out to us, Heritage Custom Builders, and We have Facebook, Instagram, website. What else do we have? YouTube. Oh, that's right. We have YouTube also. Like I said, I'm not technologically whatever. So, but we'd love an opportunity to, talk to anybody who does want to build and see if we're the right builder for you. And we offer a great product. We enjoy what we do, and we go out of our way to, give you the best experience. So